And we are live.
Welcome to Dungeons and Drama.
Dude, shut it. Shut the fuck up. Holy shit, I have to cut this out. I have to cut this later.
Too late, it's already happened.
Welcome to Dungeons and Drama.
Welcome back.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing tonight?
I sold my parents off into slavery.
Critty is in fine form tonight.
Alright.
As per
Does
usual.
everybody know where we left off?
Does anyone know anything?
Did you, honestly I should have asked before we started, but did you got the full recap, didn't you, Ace?
I did. I watched the episode. I got drunk. I got drunk right about the time when the characters got drunk, so this is going to be an adventure for you guys, as you guys watching, as it is going to be for you guys too. So, let's go and learn together.
That's a little thing we like to call, Dungeons & Dragons canonical alcoholism. I'm impressed.
If you're not slightly drunk when you're playing Dungeons & Dragons, it's just not the same.
You're not getting into character.
No, it's true.
Remind me the exact thing that you guys left off.
I believe we were inquiring at the Alchemist Guild about,
we were inquiring about that.
fuck, what's his name? Karasthal?
Yeah, Karasthal.
Yeah, and we got a little bit of information from him about Dorin, the Alchemist. He was a friend, intelligent, came in one day, very worried, apologizing to everyone, pulled all-nighters, didn't sleep, and just disappeared one day. Apparently had some sort of connection to Vialis.
Correct. That is also who Vialis went there to see, as you followed him in and heard him ask, "Where is he?" And he told you through some intense spell pressure that he was searching for Dorin Chala.
Hey, I'm just following the rules.
I believe it. Yeah. And Arshad was kind of working on his own crazy alchemical, robotic, whatever, and passed out in the middle of the alchemical guild as we left him off. And I guess you guys could go and wake him up.
I believe we were heading to the bathhouse at that point. Because I'm still covered in the vomit from yesterday.
Can you guys wake me up by throwing me into the bath?
I mean, sure.
You still could, but you guys did go through the bath. I specifically remember that. You guys ended up seeing.
Yeah, we started heading out, so you're kind of out of luck on that one.
You, ladies and gentlemen at home, it didn't come up till now, but both Cosmic and I are in the middle of a very large storm in Canada, so I have wind outside my windows, and although they are very nice and let in lots of light, they are also really rattling, so you will hear the wind on my windows a lot.
Whereas I'm on the other side of the country, and everything's peachy over here.
Yeah, in the boring, wet West Coast, of course. In the part, yeah.
You're not wrong.
Anyway.
Well, actually, I say boring, but it's the West Coast. Of course, there's weird stuff going on there all the time.
Welcome to BC.
Indeed. Anyways, before we interrupted Critty and immediately went in Canadiana, what were you saying?
I don't forgive you. It's over. Goodbye, everyone. See you next week. No,
It's been fun. It's been fun.
Yeah. So yeah, I think now that I remember, the last thing you guys did do was bathe, and you talked to Nim a little bit. I don't know. You guys are at the bathhouse, I believe. Is your final.
That's correct. Yes.
Well, we did talk to Nim about like washing Zephyr's clothes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got that set up, and then after the bath, I was
going
gonna get it. Yeah.
Returned your clothes, and yeah, that's right. Because she was a little frustrated with her conversation with Lewin, and kind of passively just handed you your clothes back. You went, okay, here you go.
Yeah, and she was also like, telling Despair no, you don't need to be naked.
Yeah, she thought it was a product of what Lewin was doing. She thought you were doing it under command, not you.
No, he's just found a really good coworker.
Yeah, apparently.
It's convenient, you know.
Found his dream girl.
Well.
This is why I like impromptu recaps, because we spend 20 minutes talking about what happened, and then I get cutting practice.
You guys went and you bathed and you talked to Nim. Everything happened.
Okay.
So
can I wake up? Do I sense plot? Can I wake up?
A little plot alarm. Sure. Honestly, why not? What are you up to right now, Arshad?
Alright, so after a long night of kind of just hammering away at my mechanical servant that I am currently in the process of building, I think I have an idea so far, but I'm not quite sure how it's going through at this point in time. I eventually, of course, passed out because Red Bull and, alchemical coffee only takes you so far.
Red Bison. Yeah.
Red Bison, sorry, yes, apologies. Cut that entire point. Red Bison and coffee will only take you so far, so I am currently face first on one of my workbenches, surrounded by various, bubbling concoctions, which are giving a slight, smoky quality to everything, almost like some sort of hookah house.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know if that's perfume or oil. I stay out in the hall.
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys have made your way to the Alchemical Guild, and you guys
That's where we were heading after.
Alright, sounds good to me.
Alright, I'd still probably passed out on that workbench, so...
I tentatively peek through the door, checking for anything that might fall over and explode and just, never know.
Creeping through Arshad land is a dangerous trek.
You know it.
You gonna get his attention in some way?
I'm just going to,
Just walk past Zephyr and just walks up to Arshad and she pokes him on the head
What did it? Oh god, this is you. Alright, put the goggles back on, which are now black. Alright, I think I've solved this problem once again. Hello, how are you? Oh, right, yes, no, sorry, I cannot do the, this. He gestures vaguely towards you.
What?
He's covering his eyes with the black goggles so as not to see your nude body. That is a problem to solve.
Oh, yes, that's what he said.
I mean, yeah, that's what Despair is, confused about,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, well. Welcome to my world, where I'm confused about my own character half the time.
Yep, so Despair would just be like, you can look at my body if you want to, it's not like I give a shit.
Oh, no, it's not about that. There are other things at play here. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to. These are how these things work.
What?
I'm not allowed to. I just said there are rules.
Zephyr's out in the hall just shaking his head with his head in his hands, just,
Well, okay, and then Despair, lifts up Arshad and brings him
Wait!
to...
But my robot! It is almost complete! I'm, desperately, clawing at your shoulder, trying to go to my robot again.
do you have
But it's just right over there! Oh, no!
do you have the blood on you?
What?
Do you have the blood on you?
I always have these sorts of things on me.
Okay, perfect, let's go.
Oh, wait! Oh, okay.
I pat him on the head as Despair walks past with him.
Alright. Feeling slightly confused and probably, more childish than normal, Arshad kind of sheepishly follows behind.
Follows, more gets carried.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Unwillingly follows.
As you guys walk out back to the main hallway, or main area of the Alchemist Guild, where everybody's kind of hard at work, the writing and, lab vials clinking is kind of interrupted and turns to silence as you hear a loud bang as the door kicks open.
Oh dear.
You don't recognize the face, except for Arshad.
Oh boy.
Oh, wait, what if, Despair also kicked the door down, at the same time?
No, as you guys were walking
Wait,
through
I'm
it.
facing the wrong way. I'm over her shoulder. Aren't I technically right now? Being
Oh,
carried,
yeah, well,
second
fair. Yeah, I
stage.
guess you can't see it, but as the door kicks open, the silence fills the room, as you just hear Karis Tall, the lab technician. Dorin!
What's going on over there? I cannot see. What is going on? Hello?
Everybody turns their head as Karis speaks Doran's name and turns around to reveal that it is Dorin Chala. Go ahead, open the door. Where is Vialis?
Is that Dorin I hear? Dorin, are you? Oh, Dorin, you're back. Oh, it's good to see you.
Yes,
It's a
thank you.
bundled over his shoulder.
It's good to see you all too. I'm sorry for my absence, but I don't really have time for formalities. Where is Vialis?
He went looking for you.
Did he have my family with him?
Should he?
No?
I've been
He was by
checking.
himself.
I've been checking in with my family day after day, making sure they're safe from a distance, but they're gone.
Is he
When's
causing
the
you...
last time you saw him?
Can I, before we do anything else, can I just make an
Family.
insight check over the shoulder?
That's some talent.
Yeah.
I guess it's
That's
just
pretty-
determining his voice and like whether or not he's
Yeah,
like bullshit.
his tone and stuff.
Can I just,
Checking.
I want to make sure, is he sounding like he really is panicky about his family, or is this kind of a cover story? He's talking.
Oh, go ahead. You can roll the insight.
Alright, that's an insight of 4.
As far as you can tell, he's being pretty genuine. You're not able to discern his... You're not even really looking at his face to judge his expression or anything like that.
I must protest this treatment, but yes. Alright, I don't know where they really went. No, where do these sort of things went? I gestured vaguely over my shoulder, which I can't relate towards Despair and, damn it. Zephyr, there we go.
You got it.
Yay.
I need somebody to help me find him. I know he has my family, I just know it. Nobody else would have known where they are, and they wouldn't have bothered them anyway. Vialis is the only one. Help me. What direction did he go? Anything. I need your help.
Can you
His
slow
wo-
down a little bit, buddy?
Slow down. My wife is gone, and my other child.
Other child?
What are their names?
It's my wife, Tika, and my son, John.
For as far as I know, he's been by himself. The last we saw him was he was walking away trying to find you, and before that he was at the docks with some other people. Can't remember their name.
Friends of his, Ferris and I don't know the other one.
He takes a solemn glance at all of your weapons and just kind of your adventurers, are you not?
I guess so.
I can't face him alone. Please lead the way and go with me. I'll pay anything. I'll give you anything you need. I just need you to help me. I need somebody. Vialis is far too powerful for me.
He is an asshole anyway.
Yes.
We haven't
It's an
seen
understatement.
much wrongdoing from Vialis' side. Are you sure it was?
seen Vialis' wrongdoing?
Are you sure it was him that kidnapped your family?
I've never been more sure of anything in my life. I know Vialis more than anybody else in this world. He doesn't talk to many, but I promise you there's an evil brewing inside of him that nobody's seen yet.
Has he always been like this, or
Well,
just
I
the
don't
last,
think
say,
this is
2
along the
weeks?
as we head towards this, we can find out more as we go along.
I don't have the time to talk about it. I'll tell you anything on the way, but please, just come with me and help me find Vialis.
Fine. And she just like follows.
Zephyr gives a mild shrug and
Watch the
says,
door
"Lead
fit
on."
out!
Like she also like bumps her horns on the door frame and she's like, fuck. She like goes under the door frame.
Is this what being tall is like? I kind of like it.
He's kind of ignoring your guys' wacky antics and just walking with a frantic pace as he waves back at you to hurry up. Come on! I don't have much time.
Despair, if you make...
Can I
Can you put me in front of him? I just want to talk to him for a moment.
Despair will yeet him in front of him.
Can I get a yeet check, please?
Yes.
Alright. On a scale of like 1 to pain, how much pain am I going to be feeling after this yeet?
Is that gonna be a strength check?
No, I was joking. You don't actually have to roll a yeet roll.
That would be interesting.
Okay. But like, can I make an insight check though?
Yeah. What specifically are you checking?
I'm checking if he's genuine. Let me just
Alright, go ahead.
make it-
Seems frantic enough for me.
Because he's like, oh my god, we need to find him. We need to find him. Like, that's
I mean, my passive insight is 15, so I'm sure I'd notice.
It's true enough.
I got a 16.
You kind of examine him as he walks, and he seems not as well dressed, or just not really similarly dressed to any of the other lab technicians. He just has a stern look on his face, and he's not the pleasant person that you described before. He looks very determined, and he also looks very dirty, like he's been He's just covered in dirt. He smells like he hasn't bathed in a very long time. But he definitely does look genuine.
How old is he?
He's middle-aged. He's a human man about the age of 40, 45-ish.
Is that Arshad's father?
No. It isn't.
That's another leap.
Well, I guess I did say that Arshad knew him, but it's just he knew him because he was a lab technician. Nothing
No,
else.
I was just joking around because...
We all
had
Alchemists
Arshad
do
when
look
he
the
was
same,
4
okay?
years
Yeah.
old.
Not Alchemists, okay?
Not all alchemists.
Alright.
Anyway,
as
yeah,
I mentioned,
the sparrow
whenceforth hath
just
I been
set him
yoked?
down.
Okay, never mind.
She would actually eat him. If she eated him, like, it would be for a reason.
Oh, I'll probably provide one soon enough, but you know.
He hath been shifted over.
Yep. Alright, anyway, so now that I'm back on the ground, dust myself back off, and then I'm just gonna kind of like trot up next to Corin and just say, "What happened to you, Corin? You disappeared for so long." Dorin. Yes, that too.
So long I forgot your name.
I don't really have time to talk about it.
Well, I can walk and talk, you see, but this is a very good skill to pick up.
I'm not sure if it's any of your business. I didn't even plan to return. I
I
only come back because my family's in danger.
I'm actually gonna like step in front of him a little bit. I think it's very much my business, considering you're bursting into the alchemical guild, calling for help, and now that we're coming to help you, don't want to tell us what's going on. So,
Zephyr.
give me
FAF.
as quick as somebody as you can, and we'll come and help you.
He kind of stumbles and he just looks at the ground and shakes his head and looks back up at you with a serious look on his face. Vialis is an evil, evil man. I don't want to get into the specifics. It hurts me to even think about, but all the problems, all the things that have been happening around town are the fault of Vialis. And I promise he was only searching for me and trying to besmirch, for the purpose of besmirching my name and blaming it on me, but I promise it wasn't my fault. It was all Vialis.
Alright.
Zephyr speaks up at this point and says, "Whatever the case may be, if your wife and child are at risk, we should hurry along. But once this is over, you and I will have a little chat. Under our terms, not yours."
Whatever. That's fine. I just need to find Vialis. I can talk about whatever you want after I know that my wife and child are okay.
I'm going to hold you to that. And starts walking again.
Well, let's begin then.
He kind of immediately brushes it off and just starts walking forward with a purpose, going towards the docks, as you had mentioned to him that was one of the last places that you...
Yep.
Alright, let's go.
We head toward the docks.
Sorry, I'm typing something. Give me just one second.
Okay.
I'm okay then.
This is starting off great.
Frantically.
Yeah, it's us.
I'd say we are in more of a lead than we were before, so I can't say that we're in a bad position.
I'm impressed
rush
you guys managed
position.
to find a lead after all this drinking.
I mean, it was more before the drinking that we found the lead, and then we buried the lead after the drinking.
Yeah, it was a celebratory drink.
That's the reason Zephyr gave. I don't know how honest it is. It's more like he needed a drink.
You guys approach the docks, and Dorin is kind of leading the way as you see Ferris and Morin just sitting by their boat. Ferris is kind of whittling something while smoking on his pipe, and Morin is just laying down with his head behind it, or his hands behind his head, just laying down looking at the sun. Ferris looks up as you approach. Why, hello there.
I just kind of like, hello, how are you today? If you were to think of where he might be at this moment, where would you think he has gone?
He swallows kind of hard, and his face turns to a serious expression. Did Vialis do something, like you had said before?
I kind of like side-eye Dorin.
Yes, Vialis has done something. Again.
Again?
Yes, again.
Again.
Our sources say he was only recently unusual in the last 2 weeks.
Vialis is very good at hiding his true nature.
Not the fact that he's an asshole.
Yes, but he's more than an asshole. Vialis is pure evil. The cold heart.
Well, that will remain to be seen.
Very cheerful. Anyways, where would he have gone around this time? If you were to think about him in his own brain if you had one. Or he had
Well, he's usually. Are you talking to Ferris, by the way?
Yes.
Well, he's usually around here, if not at the docks, and I guess sometimes, rarely studying at the library, but that's mostly all the places he goes to.
To the library?
Library.
I suppose we should go to the library then. Then Despair just turns around and walks to the library.
Zephyr follows along. It seems like the most likely place.
Walking through buildings the entire time.
As quickly as we can, if possible. If this is as much of an emergency as Dorin is explaining, we might want to make this with haste.
Dorin! You hear a loud, booming voice come from quite the distance away back in the direction you came.
Despair takes out her axe, and she readies herself.
That was quick.
What is everybody else going to do?
I'm just going to look around and see if I can find them. The source of the voice.
You can't see anything from where you are, but you can tell it came from the direction you came.
If that's the case, then yeah, I basically... And I recognize that this one is Artificer. What was his name again?
Vialis?
Vialis, there we go. I recognize his voice as Vialis, or do I even know who Vialis is?
Yeah, it's Vialis.
Okay,
Alright,
in that
so
case, then I'm
Despair
just gonna
will
be
break into a
oh,
sprint.
no, here we go.
She's sprinting towards the voice. Full sprint.
Oh, okay.
Zephyr's just standing on guard.
Draw nearer and nearer to that direction, and as you do, you see him with a wide grin on his face of pure evil. His eyes no longer have pupils; they're fully white and slightly bloodshot around them. As he looks at you, it looks like he's been staring at you since even before you came into vision. As you all approach, in each of his arms is a woman, and in one of his arms is a woman, and the other a young boy. As you guys. They're alive. They're bound by the mouth, so you can hear them squirming. But there's like rope and cloth in their mouth, so they can't speak. They can just kind of like muffled scream at you guys.
So went from 0 to 100 very quick.
Yeah.
Despair's hair flares up, and she goes into a rage.
Before anything goes down, Zephyr would like to cast one quick spell with a subtle motion, as stealthily as he can. Bless on the two people in front of us, and on Despair. I've got 3 people I can choose. Are they within 30 feet of us?
Not yet.
Fuck. I'll hold off until they're closer.
Okay.
Like,
I mean, all of us could, but I'll wait until we need it.
and when Despair holds up her axe to do a downward swing, like fire comes out of her all around her, and she just screams. It looks like she's going to hit Vialis, but instead she goes and tries to cut the ropes.
Oh boy.
Well, this is going to be a very interesting combat encounter.
Yeah.
Before we do anything to him, I'm gonna need an initiative.
Yeah, I figured as much. Oh, that's good. 13 plus 1 is 14.
What's that magic?
14 for me.
9.
9! Sorry, wrong show.
9!
I could switch to
God
German.
damn it, I have 9!
What's your dexterity, though?
It's plus 3, I got a 6.
You go first.
Hold on,
No, wait, no, I go first.
I'm at 14, I go first, guys.
We're not talking about you.
I know, I'm fucking with
Despair
you.
got a... What did Despair get?
Also,
9.
Okay.
But I have plus 3 to my initiative.
I only have
What's
plus
Arshad?
I have a plus 2 to the initiative, so I technically go first.
What did you get?
A 9.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I thought it was the person with the higher initiative. The bonus.
It's kind of weird. But,
Weird, whatever. Let's do that then.
And what did Zephyr get?
I got a 14. Total.
Okay.
Not great, but not terrible.
let's see. Oh. Oh boy.
I'm just looking over my spells. Got a lot to choose from.
You like rolling?
So what's the initiative? Vialis.
Vialis is definitely going to have it first.
Shit. Never good.
Okay, sorry. Just getting less by second things prepared. As you guys approach and draw your weapons, Dorin just kind of looks at him in shock. My wife! My boy, Vialis, you've gone too far this time! And his composure is kind of dropping as he looks like he's ready to cry almost, but he's still got a face of rage on. And Vialis just keeps his sickly, evil smile just plastered across his face as he kind of drops both of them. He's been floating this entire time. I forgot to mention that. That was kind of important. But he's both of his feet are off of the ground, just raised about a foot as he's floating.
Cool.
No pupils as he drops both of them by his sides and puts his hands up as a green aura arises out of his hands without a word. He kind of does some sort of somatic motion with his hands, and you can't tell what it does, but you see he gets seemingly a rush of energy, and he shakes his head. And that's all he does right now.
Okay.
How far away is he exactly?
He is about 50 feet away.
50 feet. Alright. Good to know.
Who's the first on like the initiative roll now?
It's gonna be Zephyr.
Okay. 50 feet. That's kind of a problem. Okay. Man, I really wish I made it to Baxi. That feeling agility would be really handy right now.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Are the two hostages injured?
Seemingly no.
Good.
I can take care of that.
In that case, I would like to... Oh, that's tricky. I think I will cast Shield of Faith with a bonus action on Despair. And that's a... Oh, hang on, that's concentration. Fuck. I'm not gonna do that. Shit. Yeah, I'm gonna run 30 feet ahead, and I'm going to, because that's my full movement, I'm going to cast Bless on the boy, the woman, and Arshad behind me. So I'm about within range of both of them.
Actually, straight up, I was just being a joke about the Bless thing. I actually don't need it because everything I do is based off saving throw. So.
Well, whatever. It's on you anyway because I already said it.
All right. Well, I'm now blessed.
You now for 1 minute, as long as I keep concentration. Whenever a target makes an attack roll or saving throw before the spell ends, the target, can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to the attack or saving throw. So you can attack him better, and you can save from his spells and shit. So there you go. That's all I can do this round. Oh, wait, hang on. Was that a bonus action? No, it was an action, so I'm done this round.
Okay, who's up next?
I think it would be me, I believe.
Well, let's try to be crit.
Crit?
Well, you guys both rolled 9, but Arshad said he had something.
I'll let the President Steam Locomotive go first.
DM's decision.
But let it happen. Despair.
Oh, I'm going?
Yep.
Okay, well, Despair, like, raged before initiative.
As we are aware.
For flavor. So, she is going to now see that the boy and the woman have, like, gone, like, out of his hands. And then she's going to, like, swing her axe at, like, what's his name again?
Vialis.
Vialis. I'm rolling a 1d20 plus 5. I got an 11. Fuck.
You're just taking a regular swing at him? With
It's
your
like
axe?
it's a two-handed axe. Is there anything I get a bonus for rage?
I think you can make the decision whether or not to make it reckless, but you already did kind of take the swing. Has to be before the roll.
He's 50 feet away from y'all.
Yeah, too.
No, I ran up to him.
Do you have 50 feet of movement?
No, you got 30 feet.
You'd have to dash and you wouldn't be able to make an attack.
Oh, okay. Well,
If you want to be right up to him.
Then I don't swing.
Fair enough.
Run at him, like.
She swings
she's
instantly
like,
at the air.
She's just like screaming, like she's just running towards him.
Okay, you're gonna use your dash to. What's that?
Yes.
So, no, she's just gonna like. Okay, so think of it like this: she's running to 30 feet, and then time slows and then goes on to Arshad.
Okay,
Yeah.
Arshad, what's up, my guy?
Yeah, boy. So your boy is gonna kind of like, well, this all this screaming is making it very hard to concentrate. I have an idea. I'm gonna also kind of jog 30 feet forward. Do I see any boxes or anything that I might be able to take cover from?
Not necessarily. You guys were in a pretty open area, because you were approaching the city from the docks, essentially.
Okay, regardless, I'm gonna try and go a little bit off to the side so I can kind of dive down an alleyway or something, or behind a wall if I need to, if I can find one.
Okay.
But 30 feet, he's now 20 feet away from me?
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to reach into my alchemical satchel, pull out a small little green vial, give it a little shaking it back and forth. It starts hissing and bubbling, and then I just lob that thing in my best cricket pose, pitch, I should say, right at this guy's face. Can I get him to make a dexterity saving throw?
Yeah. It has to be 13, you said?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, it hits.
Alright, good. He will take 9 acid damage to the face.
Okay, as he's got his smile plastered across his face, it immediately, turns to a pained expression as he starts wiping at his face, just screaming, as he shakes his head off and kind of starts to focus again.
How's it going, big boy?
He just kind of screams at you as his eyes light up with a faint color of green. No word.
And as soon as he's doing that, realizing what the situation is, I'm also going to cast a spell. I'm just going to kind of like go, oh no, not so fast. Snap my fingers, and a bunch of like ethereal shields just kind of start spinning around me as I cast my own shield of faith upon myself.
Nice!
How much damage? You did 9 damage with that thing, you said? Okay.
That's Tito damage.
Okay. Next up will be Zephyr. Oh, just kidding. My bad. I almost have done nothing but getting hit.
That's correct.
Let me see here. Okay, he puts his hand up with sort of a slow raise as his grin begins to return, and the green pale aura goes around his hand again and it shakes. And with just a whisper of words that you can't audibly hear from how far away you are, you see a ghostly figure right next to him, or excuse me, right in front of him, kind of apparate. It looks like almost like a blue skeleton with a pale figure of a human around it, just kind of stand there.
Ugh.
Unpleasant.
Very much so.
Hello?
Is that it?
Is that it?
Yeah, that's the end of his turn, sorry.
Oh, okay. In that case, since it's my turn, I will run the extra 20 feet towards him. Am I within range of touching distance?
Yeah. Yes.
Good. I'm gonna try something out of the gate and try Lesser Restoration, and touch him.
Okay.
Hoping that this blood is a disease. Because if not, I'm kind of fucked here because I'm right in front of him. So I'm going to cast that level 2 spell. And, does anything happen? I'm hoping, but I've got no guarantees here, and I'm kind of shitting myself, so...
Hold on a second.
Oh boy. Oh god, he's consulting the rules. Oh Jesus. The worst thing is if this was a greater restoration requirement. Oh god. I don't even know if that's what this is, but I'm just going based off of what I know. It's what Zephyr wanted to try with the blood last game.
That's why I ran off to go.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, he was just like, I gotta try this.
You kind of run up and touch on it, or touch on him, and you cast Lesser Restoration as he just kind of looks at you confused and just screams in your face, and then goes back with this grin, and no apparent effect took place.
Good news. At that point, I let go of his leg or whatever. Is he floating or?
He's not that far off the ground, just like
Okay.
foot.
So I'll let go of his side and bring my shield up to bear, and that'll be the end of my. Oh wait, hang on. I also have bonus action. Can I grab my mace out of my belt with my bonus action? Oh,
yeah.
actually, no. Next turn I'm going to do that, so never mind. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep that one hand free.
Okay.
Alright, and I hold my shield to bear, and that's the end of my turn.
Alright.
Worth a try.
Be, Despair.
So she will run up the next 20 feet, and then she will swing at him as hard as she can.
Alright. Give me that roll.
13. Did it hit his AC?
It hits.
Oh,
nice.
Okay,
See
so
the
I'm
damage.
also raging. How does rolling damage work? I know it's 1d12.
Roll damage and then add your strength and add +2. Using a great axe, right? So it's 1d12 plus 4. Well, what's your strength? +6? So, no, I'm sorry, +3, +2.
5. God!
Jesus. 17 damage, you said?
Yes.
Alright.
Nice.
Like 7 or above this time. Fucking
She
outpaced.
just slices into his chest, like, ah!
You take this vicious, angry swing at him that hits him directly in the chest, and he, for the first time in this encounter, just lets out words, and his only word is, fuck! As he, he kind of is knocked out of his, floating status and hits the ground before quickly standing back up and pulling the people behind him. And he just gives you another, almost feral type scream. Almost a growl.
She just screams at him back.
Ooh,
Well, we still have
okay.
a fine conversation. Screaming in each other's faces. Count for it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my turn.
Yep.
Okay, good. In that case, I'm assuming that now with everyone deciding that they all want to get into melee range of whatever magical thing this is, they're all probably blocking my ability to shoot him with a crossbow and also acid.
Yeah. I would say your path is kind of blocked, but you'll be able to try to find a way through. I'll have you have a... If you roll well enough, you can get past it.
I'm gonna yeet down there. I'm gonna go 20 feet down the far left side. Try and get in a bit of a side flanking position.
Okay.
How is the wife and child looking at this point?
Terrified, but not injured in any way.
Okay. I am going to attempt to hit this guy in the chest with a crossbow bolt with my light crossbow. So,
Would he have half cover, 3/4, or total cover?
well,
He is floating, so...
No, he's not. He got knocked down. Remember?
Oh, that's right, yeah. Good call.
Yep.
Nice, then.
Does a 7 hit?
No.
Okay. In that case, I'm not very good with things, this thing. I'm very sorry.
That hopeful
Yeah,
voice, though.
You take this kind of amateurish aim, and your bolt kind of sails past him. It doesn't hit any of your allies.
Ah! What is this? Fix this 1 second.
That's Vialis' turn now, right? Oh, we lost somebody. Did we lose somebody? Gritty, you there? Hello? Hello?
Hey?
Oh,
I hear
did I get cut out or did you?
everyone got cut out. I
Shit.
don't know what happened.
Okay, well, it's okay.
Probably Discord.
It's sword.
Alright, no worries then.
Buddy, it's everyone's favorite service, yeah. My thing was that I was just reloading and it is now being...
Cool.
Okay, well, back to Vialis' turn, I do believe. Yeah. Vialis, looking pretty pained, he kind of takes a desperate look down at the two victims below his feet, and goes back to his floating position and aims his hand down at one, and the familiar pale green encases his hand again. Before you see him vibrate and shake, as you see that same color come out of the body of the mother. Goes, what?
Is there any sort of dexterity or anything save for this, or is it just automatic?
Not from them. They are completely bound. And,
Oh, fuck.
yeah.
I was hoping it would be some sort of wisdom save, because then they would have gotten the bless, but fuck! Alright.
He kind of sucks in the green aura from them and just goes...
Oh, boy.
And you see the smile return back to his face.
Sneaky bitch.
Okay, that is the end of his turn. However, the skeletal aperture in front of him now has a turn that he summoned earlier, and it's going to take a swing at Despair. But it rolled a 10!
Nice.
So it doesn't...
Fuck yeah!
Okay, wait. Funny thing that we could say is that when somebody does attempt to hit Despair, it hits her skin, but it's like
Just flexes it off.
yeah, like yeah, that sort of thing.
Fair enough.
Goddamn, yeah.
Alright, that
I mean,
brings us back...
she is a really big person, so like
She is. She's jacked.
Can't really
And it's
miss
just a
her.
skeleton anyway, so
Yeah.
I'll leave it.
Probably dulled sword, so... Anyway. Whose turn is it?
Zephyr.
Sweet. Am I still within range of touch for him? Vialis, I mean.
Yeah.
I will use Inflict Wounds.
Okay.
Level 1, 3d10, he is injured, if I recall.
Yeah.
Sweet! Okay, make a melee attack against a creature you can reach. On a hit, the target takes 3d10 necrotic. Okay, so I'm rolling for a hit.
Let me see it.
That is not good. Let's see, that is 7 plus... Not enough.
What's it? Is it to beat his
10
armor
is
class?
total, yeah. It has to hit him to knock it down, but...
It hits my guy. He has a
Oh, it does! Holy shit, okay. 3d10 necrotic damage.
3d10.
8, 6, and a 1. So that is 15 damage.
Jesus Christ.
I know, clerics, man.
You said 16 or 15? I'm sorry.
That was 15 damage.
Alright. 1 sec.
I don't have many slots left, though. I already used suggestion earlier in the day.
He kind of lets out this, like, pained cry as you see, as he looks up and tenses his entire body, you just see wounds start to appear, seemingly random on his skin.
Yeah, it doesn't feel so good, does it?
Kind of gently floats back to the ground. He doesn't fall this time, but he goes back to his feet and starts breathing heavily.
With that, I'm still within range of him. I don't think he moved away, did he?
Nope.
Oh, sorry, I made a mistaken calculation. That would have been a plus 5 to hit. So that would have been 12 anyway. So anyway, I will use for bonus action, Healing Word on the woman.
Okay.
Yep. So that is 1d4 plus my spellcasting ability modifier, which is plus 3. So 1d4 plus 3.
Hit it up.
That is a 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 health to the woman.
Okay.
And I have 1 spell slot left. At which point I bare my shield again and I say, yeah, there's no turning this one back. Go wild.
I'm gonna take just a second here. So
Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
Using a stopwatch so I can keep track of all this, so no worries.
I think Barbarian's turn.
I believe so.
Sorry, I'm
Barbarian, I like
last
that.
thing. Sorry, yeah, I heard that.
yeah, I'm just waiting for Pretty to finish.
My bad. I take forever with these things. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Barbarian.
Okay.
The real
you ready?
Boobette.
Are you ready to begin?
Good, are you ready?
Sorry.
Take your
One
time.
sec.
Ready?
Let me know when.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay,
'Kay.
I'm gonna roll to hit. I'm gonna like go for like a slash into his arm. Like, she's intending to, like, maybe, like, you know, take one of his arms off, but, you know, by D&D terms, I don't think that would happen unless I nat 20.
So basically, gouge his arm severely.
Yes.
That works. You never know, it might work.
That is 17.
Oh,
Plus 5.
barbarians, man.
That absolutely hits. Hit me with the damage, bro.
And you're still raging, so you get that plus 2.
16 for damage, 11 plus 5 equals 16, so...
Nice.
16, you said?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Jesus Christ.
Why plus 5? I thought rage was 2 plus your proficiency. 4. Or am I wrong?
Okay, so it's, like, she's raging.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just trying to work out the math, sorry. I'm not on your character page, so I wouldn't be able to see it. Cutting that part out.
Yep.
Alright, continue.
So it's Arshad's turn.
Okay. Yeah. So in terms of everything, how's the mother looking? Is she still looking like she's got that good old-fashioned whatever's going on inside her?
Sorry.
Is the mother still looking like she's got whatever, alien baby growing inside her or something like that?
What the
Is that a
fuck?
thing? I'm not sure.
You mean the green goop coming off her?
Yeah.
Oh, no. That was, he, like, took energy from her. It was just a brief.
Just siphoning life or whatever.
How much did he heal, by the way? Or can we know that?
Ain't happening.
I guess the only thing I could do at this point is I could technically chuck an alchemist vial, which is probably useful. The problem is there's a 5-foot radius on all sides. So
I can take it.
5 feet away from you guys. You
I
can.
could probably take it.
But what about the kids and the mom?
I gave them a bonus to their stuff, man. Bless is on them.
That's still a terrible idea.
Well, yeah, they are bound, so I guess that wouldn't really help. Unless it's like a wisdom.
Yeah. I'm going to once again just kind of aim my crossbow and attempt to headshot this thing.
That
does a 12 to hit.
Yep.
Alrighty. Just aim, shoot, fire. For 8 damage.
Jesus Christ. I'm gonna be honest, y'all inherently just do way
Good.
than I thought you were going.
That's what we were hoping for. We work well together.
Hell yeah.
Whew.
Plus,
When I was
Barbarian.
looking at stats, I was like, this seems a little bit balanced. They shouldn't steamroll him. And here comes the 16 damage from like 2 of you, and like one.
Inflict wounds here, X/ there.
Yeah.
Suddenly he needs some health.
Okay, you throw this vial at him, and on top of his already like wounded body, he kind of starts to like fall to the floor. He's on his knees almost at this point, just barely supporting himself by his hand, and he just kind of shakes his head, and he just gives you one more final, but much weaker, like. And he your guys' turn. So okay, yeah. So he's gonna put his glowing hand back up, but it's shaking this time. This time not with much power, but with weakness. He's trembling almost. Just for a little bit of context, by the way, Dorin is not a fighter, so he has been too pussy around.
Oh, that's fine.
To go in and do anything. He's just cowering. Kind of.
Some scientists can't do what Arshad does.
Yeah, it'd be like that. Let me see what I want him to do. Okay, so it's kind of a desperate attempt. He's going to reach down at Zephyr, who is close to him by this point, within touching range, and just kind of put his arms around you. He's going to try to hit you with shocking grasp.
What's the save on that?
Not saying anything
Right now.
Oh, just a touch attack? Fuck.
Yep.
Oh, it just happens? Oh,
Does it?
dang. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Alright, so yeah, now I roll a d8 for lightning damage.
Oof.
Sorry, I kind of got distracted. Who did Vialis?
He's electrocuting me.
Vialis is grabbing Zephyr and thing with shocking grasp.
Understood.
Oh! Hey, something happened from Vialis. He hugs you tight, and you just see this electrical body around him as it shocks you for a 8 damage.
Oh wait, hang on. It says you have advantage on the attack roll if the target is wearing armor made of metal, which I do. So he has advantage, but he still has to make a melee spell attack. It's not just an auto hit.
Oh, so what, I gotta roll a d20 to beat your armor.
You gotta get 17, but you've got advantage on the roll.
Okay.
Plus his spell modifier.
Damn it.
What was it?
It didn't hit.
That's right, motherfucker! Try again! Whoa, that was ear piercing.
My Alice, you were supposed to be.
Nice try, motherfucker!
Well,
Try again! You think you're a bad motherfucker?
And he bear hugs you to no effect, and just kind of drops you in frustration as he grabs the two bodies next to him and starts to kind of limp away. As he tries
Oh,
to
he's moving away? Opportunity of attack.
bet. Give me
Oh, this is fun.
Oh boy.
Okay, that is a 14 plus... That is a 14 plus 4 for my mace, so that's 18 to hit.
Well,
1d6 plus 2. Okay. d6 is 2, plus 2 is 4. 4 damage.
okay. Well,
With my mace smashing into his back.
Since I nat one, like, let's just say that Despair, like, went in for another, like, downward strike, and she struck the ground, and now her axe is just stuck, and she's just like...
Sparks flying off the ground, yeah.
fine by me. However, as depressed as I am to have to say this so soon, Zephyr, how do you want to do this?
Oh fuck yeah, motherfucker! I want to hit him in the back and smash his spine.
Oh
Oh
my.
my god, bet. Well, you reach your hand up with kind of a cocky
sorry.
blow almost.
I love
Get
you,
down
I'm sorry.
right onto his spine as you hear a final as you see out of his mouth and sort of his eyes too the pale green floating away as he falls. This isn't how it was supposed to end. Just kind of looks up at you.
You're like really close to the mic, my guy.
You're coming
I'm
from-
sorry. This isn't how it was supposed to end. He kind of looks up at Zephyr.
I look down on him disappointedly. You should never tamper with things you have no knowledge of. And I just put a boot on his chest.
And he just kind of falls, lifeless. The pale green leaving his eyes.
Quick, gather his blood. I must analyze it immediately.
Dorin kind of pushes past all of you. Thank you, thank you. My dear.
I push past everyone also in a panic to get to the blood as fast as I can.
Dorin gets down on his knees. Tika, John, and he hugs them and kind of starts undoing their bonds. And as he pulls the rope out of Tika's mouth and John's mouth, Tika goes. She just starts crying and she hugs onto him and it just clutches him tight as they're both hugging and just crying onto Dorin.
Despair just watches. She manages to get her axe out of the ground,
The spirit just starts staring. Continue
and
with it.
she walks over to Vialis, and she holds up her axe, and she beheads him.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Zephyr backs away
Smart move.
in
Smart
in
move.
shock.
Okay.
This whole time I was like, can he be revived? Can my man's come back? And they just walk over.
Well,
As the blood flows, Zephyr's going to step back a little bit more shocked. There's a reason he prefers blunt weapons rather than slashing weapons that just leave such a mess.
oh, perfect. That increases the flow dramatically. Thank you. And I'm going to try and gather up a bunch of it in like an old potion bottle or something like that.
Yeah, Zephyr's just going to click his chain on his mace handle to his belt again, so it hangs from there limply.
Dorin kind of looks at all of you and he's holding his family close. Thank you. Thank you for everything you've done. I don't know how I can repay you, but I promise you I'll find a way.
I have a way you can repay us. And I turn back to him. And I say, I want you to tell me what you've been doing to the blood.
He kind of looks down at the ground. I was afraid this would come.
What was that about blood?
I knew you would ask, but somehow I was hoping you would forget.
I don't forget anything.
Why don't we go somewhere quiet where I can tell you everything?
Can I make another insight check to see if he has no ulterior motives?
Go ahead.
That's a 9, as in +2, so 11. Oof.
Yeah, he seems to be fairly genuine. He's much more calm now and doesn't seem as stern as he was before. He's just speaking pretty decent sense.
Also, Despair's owlbear, like, runs up to her, and
Oh yeah, that thing.
and they climb up her hair, and they just lay, like, in between her horns.
That's adorable.
Yep. Very cute.
Come now. Where should we go so I can tell you the full story?
To my room at the tavern, maybe? Somewhere secluded.
He kind of nods at you and he goes and leans his head back down to John and Tika and kind of huddles them up a little bit and just says something to them as they walk off.
Be safe.
Also, how did everyone else react?
Whoa.
You were echoing a lot there.
Severe echo there.
Sorry, how did everyone else react, like, around us? Especially with, like, Vialis, like, the way he was.
Just doing normal adventurer stuff, I guess.
You guys were in an area, right? There's like a big trail that leads from the docks to kind of the entrance to the actual part of the city, and you guys were in a decently secluded part. People kind of, you noticed as the battle went on, just a few people came in as they were walking and just immediately ran out. Nobody is there, there's no current spectators, but people definitely saw what happened.
Right, okay.
So what are we going to do about this, well, you know, body? I could probably get rid of it if we need to.
We could call the guards and have them remove it toward the crypt. Maybe we can have it, we may have need of it for medical examination later. Maybe you could tell your friends at the Alchemist Guild. They might have an interest.
That too. Good point. Who wants to carry the dead body?
I've never want anything to do with Vialis ever again, thank you.
Well, it's fun and dandy, but we may actually require you to come and take a look at him to your knowledge about this blood. Anyways, point being is that I now have all I ever need. I swirl the blood around in my little vial, put it inside myself. But if we're going to take care of the body, yeah, we're probably going to get back to the guild.
I just got clean.
Attention.
Zephyr and his appearing and disappearing accent. I just got clean. I'm not touching that.
Okay.
Despair just sighs and she holds up the head and the body and she just says, okay, let's go.
Problem solved. And I follow behind her toward the Therum, or rather toward the barracks.
I don't know how everyone's gonna react to her holding a body.
You're massive. You think anyone's gonna question?
Despair, the tiefling who didn't want to go fishing for fear that she would hurt them, but picks up this tiefling head with zero issue.
Those are innocent animals. There's a difference.
I know. I just think it's funny the dichotomy between I don't want to hurt the fish and it's just like chopping.
It's
My
fine. Despair is just a militant, what's it called?
Militant civilian?
Yeah.
Vegan
Or vegan.
Militant vegan, nice. I like that.
True that.
Quick question, by the way. How many people were standing about us as we fought Vialis?
People passing by, so maybe 4 or 5. You know, it's not that there's like a Street Fighter match in the background cheering you on. They just kind of happened upon it and then immediately ran away. Possibly to tell people.
Most notably the guards, yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, back. Oh no, we're not starting yet. We're just waiting for everybody. So we're just waiting on StraightUpAces, I think.
Oh, did he back and typing?
Oh, he is? You there, though?
Eating an apple, just muting and let's directly talk.
Gotcha.
Can you give me one solid crunch into the mic?
Oh, God. Oh, those meth sense. Ugh. Oh, that's pleasant.
Excellent. I'm so pissed at how easily that you guys killed him.
I mean, like,
I
there's...
underestimated the power.
So did he.
I guess that's fair.
And that's what happens when you underestimate a bitch. They fucking kill you.
Do that.
Yeah, what is that? Where's that coming from? Oh, it's her. Okay.
Oh, do you mean this?
That would be it. It's your fucking toy again.
Yeah, exactly. I'm playing.
Yo, that catches on stream. We can hear that. As you would have known.
Can't help.
I know, you gotta find something quieter with fidgeting your fingers.
Got you. I'll look.
We can play a little over the time limit if you guys are willing.
Yeah.
Because,
I
we...
can a little bit, but I can't be out here late.
Oh, fuck no, dude. Same here.
Also, it's not like I have a million hours of content prepared.
Oh, of course not. Alright, everybody back?
I'm back.
I think so. Yeah.
Alright, starting back in 3, 2, 1.
Barack Obama does not care about black people. Anyway.
I'm keeping that in.
Dear
Welcome
God.
back to the stream, everybody. As you can see, we are right back to where we started.
Yup. Okay, what did y'all leave off with?
We were heading to the barracks.
Okay.
At which point I believe I lean over to Despair, looking at the body on her horns, or on her shoulder, whatever it is.
Yeah,
And
it's like in her arms. Her owlbear is on her head.
oh, okay, perfect. I'll
I was
scritch.
kind of hoping that Despair would kind of be like I don't say like a water buffalo or something who just carry things around.
I kind of imagined that too, but at the same time, you know. But I'll scritch the owlbear on the ear and lean over and say to Arshad, if we can use the barracks for an interrogation center, or at least a conversation, I should say, looking at the gentleman with us, Dorin, it may be the best place to do it. We will probably be under investigation carrying a body toward the barracks anyway.
As you guys speak, walking up the path, you start to notice a large crowd of people that seem to be waiting for you, and directly in your way are about 5 guards, pikes out, pointed in your direction.
I lean over to Despair. Please don't make any sudden moves.
Despair just stands there watching them.
Hands up, Zephyr says, it's alright. There was a squabble with 2 hostages. This was the perpetrator. You can take us to the barracks. We were bringing him there anyway.
Yes, that was our plan, as you might have imagined. You've got a little bit of explaining to do.
Perfectly happy to.
I'd never thought I'd have to make this request, but please drop the head, please. If you wouldn't mind.
She looks at him in the eye, and then she holds up the head, and then she drops it.
Like a mic.
Yeah.
The body as well.
And then she holds the body up by an arm. She holds it in front of her, and then she drops it.
I mean, if you all want to carry it yourselves.
Much obliged, they say, as 3 of them close in on you, kind of getting behind you with their pikes pointed at you, walking. Oh, and Dorin as well, so 4 of them. And the third one kind of collects the carcass.
I look to the captain, or whoever's in charge, or looks in charge, and I will say, you may want to describe us to Princess Kisana. She will give you information on our
all of that
personalities.
will be out of the way right now. I just need all of you apprehended. I'm sure you understand.
Of course,
I
of course.
recognize you all. We just still have to figure everything out.
Of course, there's a procedure.
It's more than procedure. You were sent to do an investigation, not collect the head of a random civilian. But
Yes, and I'm sure
we'll
if
discuss the details a little bit later.
situations had stayed in an investigative mood and someone had not come towards us, we would not have made an action. But yes, lead on.
Yes, you can save that talking for a little bit later.
Perfectly happy to.
And they kind of just walk you forward with their pikes behind your backs, kind of making you keep your hands above your head and walk you towards the town.
Despair's owlbear seems very nervous and like they're like ooh, ooh, and all the guards just like standing on top of her head now, just like ooh, trying to like intimidate them to get away from her. But it's like just
Arshad
really
is surprisingly okay with all these guards, and being taken to jail, almost like this has happened before to him.
This has clearly never happened to Zephyr before, but he's pretty chill. He's just like, I know what happened, therefore I'm safe.
Despair hates this. Like she really hates this, but she's not gonna slaughter everyone.
As you guys walk in, they kind of take you to a back area by the stairs that led up to the throne, the lifted area with the thrones on them. Kind of nudge you to the side and open up this door that required a large key for them to open. And you go back there, and it's a short hallway before it's a seemingly well-hidden prison cell. And they put all four of you in the same one. It's one hallway that leads to one prison area, and they lock you in that door. And you hear the sound of the other door closing at the end of the hall.
I assume as is with our weapons removed, I assume.
Yes, I should have specified.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I absolutely give up my...
Arshad's coat with all the vials and such.
I absolutely give up my mace and my crossbow with no hesitation, but I do not give them my holy symbol.
Just the coat, though.
Yeah, and yeah. I don't. You're prying for something, but since I don't know off top, I'll say yeah. They just took your coat.
Yeah, well, I will tell you right at the top, because you're going to yell at me about this later, what is in my coat. It is my alchemical supplies, my light crossbow, and my dagger. So that's, yeah, three main things about me. But I do have... Yep, nope, alright, this is going to be real fun.
What is it?
Oh,
Do you need to make a sleight of hand check to hide it, or is it pretty...
Well, unless they're going to start digging around when I really don't want to, I don't
Oh god!
Fair enough. They kind of leave you all after they've taken your weaponry and just lock you in the cage. We'll be back in a minute. And they walk down the hall and the other door closes.
Is there a chair in the cell?
It's like a bench.
Alright, I sit down on the bench and I just cross my legs.
Despair, she is almost, she's breathing heavily. She's like, no one has really seen her like this, but she actually looks quite, what's the word, shaken? Shooken?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Like, she's really shaken up because of something. And just looking at the bar, she's just shivering, and she takes her owlbear and she hugs it, trying to calm down.
Right. Well, we have all that nice, emotional stuff. Arshad is literally just at this point basically kicked up his feet on the bench and is immediately taking a nap because, as I said, he's been resting before.
How long is this bench?
It's pretty long. It's across.
Okay, long enough to have my own spot. Okay. So do I have my books still? Ah, fuck. Now he's pissed. He's impatiently fiddling his thumbs then with his gloves lit up.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So the room is pretty well lit at this point.
Yeah, it was pretty dark before. Only lit by one candle. But now you litten? Is that a word? Whatever.
Lit.
You have brightened it up. And as you guys wait there for seemingly about an hour or so, you hear the door start to unlock. You start hearing the keys rattle around as it opens up. And you hear footsteps, kind of almost sounding like high heels or something clicking down the hallway as you hear the door, the next door rattle. As it opens, you see Princess Kisana walk in and kind of close the door without locking it behind her. As she sits down with almost a joking manner, she goes, "So, what happened?"
Things went well.
Arshad was actually asleep at this point, so.
Yeah, I shove him awake. I've been fiddling with my fingers in the same position for the whole hour, and I just stand up finally, and I watch the bars, and I say, "Yes, it would seem that the blood that was infectious and necrotic before seems to have infected Vialis. I think everyone that knows him will back us up that he has been unusual for the last 2 weeks or so. We have tracked down a gentleman, I believe, is Dorin with us in this cell?"
Yes, I didn't forget about that before, but yes.
Alright. I point to Dorin and I say, he has first-hand knowledge of what's happening, and we need to have a conversation with him, preferably outside of bars. He's not as comfortable with us as others are, and I confess I am a tad bored in here.
He's kind of, Doran's biting his nails, looking at the ground. He doesn't give any confirmational nod or anything when you say that he has extra info. He's just kind of biting his nails and tapping his foot as you speak.
Arshad, meanwhile, has just kind of, basically bowed as low as possible can go and say, "Princess, it is very nice to see you again. Yes, as the man with pointy ears has said, we have dealt with at least one of the sources of the problem, but I have not been able to analyze his blood and figure out if it is indeed another example."
To be perfectly honest, we did not want things to get out of hand, but with Vialis holding 2 hostages, we had not much choice. You will find that the hostages, Tika and John, the wife and son of this gentleman here, and I point to Dorin again, were being held captive by him in mid-street in broad daylight. You will find many...
or anything like that, but Princess Kisana pipes in, and she's had like this listening, concerned expression on her face as you speak, and she just kind of goes, "Well, of course I believe you, but it might be a little bit harder to convince my mom, my dad, and the rest of the town. But that's just because they don't know you as well as I do."
Of course. But any investigation with the local populace will reveal we had at least about 6 witnesses. All of us were only defending the 2 that were captured. You can use whatever magical means you may need to get the truth from us. We will be happy to oblige.
I bet you are. I'll just... I kind of have something to wrap up, but I just want to let you know there's going to be kind of a full, big, important court case, and my mom and dad are going to be there. And I hate to make you guys feel like you're on trial, but you're...
on trial, yes.
On trial.
Everyone says with a resounding chorus.
She kind of stands up. Well, sorry, I've had just a brief moment to talk to you. I've got to kind of go get everything set up. See you guys soon.
How long is this gonna take? Like, how long are you gonna be in jail for?
Well, just until we can get started, and I promise you everybody wants to get started as soon as they can.
Well, then can I ask for one thing to pass the time? My books were removed from me as we were entered into here. Could I please have those returned to me? They're innocent historical texts, I assure you. Hello? Am I there? Gritty?
Oh my god, I wasn't pushed to talking.
There you are.
She puts her finger up to her lips in kind of a shushing motion and walks out of the door a little bit and doesn't close it all the way, but comes back in with the bag and puts it right next to you. I knew you were going to ask for that. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. And she just kind of leaves.
I thank her as she leaves the door and I grab for my books.
Dorin is still sitting there, just tapping his foot and biting his nails, looking off into nothingness.
Very well. I suppose if we need to, we can probably just spend time here? I don't know.
We have little option.
Yes. Well, we could. Okay.
In that book, is my small penknife still in one of the tomes? Good to know. I pocket that.
Fair enough.
Just in case.
At this point, Dorin is looking like he's panicking, not just nervous, and he's got his head in his hands, and he's starting to rock back and forth.
Oh yes, you're probably going to want to talk soon.
Yes, we have plenty of time to speak.
What do you want to know?
Everything that you can possibly tell us.
All right. I should have just stayed out of it.
Yes, you should have, but that's not really something you can do now.
Please understand, I had no choice, and I never meant to hurt anybody. It's never my intention to hurt people. I'm a good man, I promise. And he just kind of puts his head in his hands and rocks back and forth.
Zephyr puts a hand on his shoulder and says, "Many is a civilian's grave that was carved because of pure intentions. Now please, tell us all that you can, so that we may salvage this. And you."
Listen, it was Vialis, okay? He's all, I don't know how much you know about him, but he's always been an aspiring wizard for a long, long time. He could never get accepted in any universities. He could never really find any success or notoriety when he was doing it. That frustrated him, and I had never really known him before, but one day he came to me and said he needed my help with a new spell he was working on. I wasn't really interested at first, I'm not a wizard, I'm an alchemist, but he said he needed a little bit of alchemy to help him out to get the spell complete. I was gonna dismiss it, but then he told me something. It was stupid of me to believe it or even try, but he said he could give me my son back. And he kind of looks at the ground for a moment and just looks worried. It looks like he's almost gonna cry as his bottom lip quivered.
Oh, the other son. Sorry about that.
You're a little bit quiet, by the way, man. I don't know if you...
I'm leaving the way. Yeah. Oh, you're not the son. Oh, yes, sorry. Very much.
He nods. My boy. Jorah. He doesn't have an accent. I don't know why I got one just for that.
It's okay.
Jorah. Jorah! It's Jorah, J-O-R-A. He told me he could bring my boy back, and I know it was stupid to believe, but my family's more important to me than anything. And I would have done anything to get my son back, but... Well, anyway, he shakes his head and kind of continues on. I told him I would help him. He was working on some sort of... an evil word to even speak, but some sort of necromancy spell to bring him back, and he told me everything would be fine. He wasn't going to come back as a zombie or anything. He said I'd have my boy back just as he was before. He said that this spell was going to get him all the notoriety and all the fame and everything that he wanted before. All the spells, as we worked together, I noticed every spell and everything he is starting to work on is of a necrotic nature. He just gave up on everything else, but he was weirdly good at this, Spells never clicked for him until it had to do with death. And we worked for a short amount of time. And he told me his spell was ready and I had my part of it done. And I had created this potion that I was really nervous about. I'm used to keeping notes and checking in with the guild and making sure everything's okay with my potions, but I kind of knew something was wrong with this one, but he insisted it was okay. And, well, we went to my son's grave and we dug him up. I poured it into his body, into his mouth. And he casted some spell. I don't know exactly what he said. I just know he kept repeating, "Ade due dambala. Ade due dambala." Over and over and over. Until eventually I saw him rise and start to wake up. Full of life. All of his wounds and all of the decay that had happened to him had just healed. He just came back and it looked like my boy and I was so excited. Until he crawled up to me, grabbed me by the neck, tried to choke me. I thought everything was okay and I brought him back to my family and I knew I messed up bad because he tried to kill every one of us. And he looks down and he's crying at this point, his tears dropping onto the cold floor. And I had to kill my own boy. And I had to bury him again. But through all this tragedy, Vialis had gotten what he wanted. He seemed happy to see what happened. To see my boy, even in this state, he was just excited. And, well, he took my potion from me and went off and did God knows what. Gave it to some people, I don't fucking know. But he got what he wanted out of me, and I didn't know what to do, so I just told my family to lay low for a while, and I left town. I had left my family. I was just living in the forest on my own. I'm so sorry. He just starts crying, and he puts his head in his hand. He can't even speak anymore.
Zephyr's expression softens somewhat, but not as much as you might expect from such a sub-story. At which point he will say...
Arshad actually hardens in response to all of what's going on.
Yeah. At which point Zephyr will say, "And you would be willing to testify all of this?"
I never planned to. I was just gonna rot away in the forest like I deserved, but I guess now that I'm here, I might as well.
Good to know. And you will tell the truth on this matter?
Yeah.
The whole truth? And at which point I would like to insight check him.
Okay.
I want to check to see if he is being honest about being willing to testify for us.
Okay.
Okay, that is... Okay, that is... Insight. Oh, that's a +5. Wonderful. So that is 12, but my passive is 15. You can go with either. Whatever you want.
You can tell he is being honest. You know, he is willing to testify, but kind of feel like he's leaving something out.
I kneel down so that I'm face to face with him as he's staring at the floor, and I say, "I need everything. Any knowledge you leave out only brings us that much closer to the gallows, you and us all. Now I want you to say again, what are you leaving out?"
He kind of looks at the ground and wipes the tears off his face and puts his head in his hands, not even able to look at you at this point. Well, I kept testing. That's all he says.
Testing on whom?
Whoever Vialis told me to. I just kept making the potions and he would go out and do his dirty work. I don't know. I didn't want to know about that end of it. Something in me knew that there was a way to bring him back, because it did bring my child back. There was just something missing. And I kept tweaking my potion, thinking it was going to work, but nothing changed. And, well, now Farrell and Delic are dead too. He just starts crying again.
At this point, Arshad is going to actually, I'm not going to say push Zephyr out of the way, but he's definitely going to kind of get
Oh, Zephyr's going to back up.
Yeah.
Willingly.
This one is for between good numbers.
Certainly.
At this point, he's going to get down next to Dorin. He's going to actually put a hand on his shoulder, and he's going to, like, actually, he's going to forcefully tilt Dorin's head up so he's staring in the eyes as he's regarding him. He tried to create life, but that was nothing. You know the tendency to deal with these things.
That's why I left the guild.
Yes. This makes sense. I don't think you're ever going to find work with us again until you come back to the Artificers.
I planned to die out in the forest before he even gave a shit about finding work. I killed my own fucking boy, my child, and I watched my family in the grips of the arms of the man that made me kill him. I don't give a shit about the guild anymore.
Yes. I don't think you realize truly what you've done and what you may have unleashed. I don't think you truly understand how this may change things.
I realize it more than anybody. I'm the one who fucking did it.
I think you know the technical aspects of it, not the implications of your actions.
The implications of my actions are I had to put a knife through my boy's
You
fucking
do not
neck.
get to talk. You do not get to talk. You were swayed by false promises and came back and were lured by this cause of a man and did all these things for him. You are going to give me everything you know about that family. And I'm going to burn it all after I confirm what exactly you did.
My notes aren't with me.
Good. When I find them, I'm going to burn them anyways.
I'll tell you where they are. I don't give a shit.
Good.
He just kind of puts his head back in his hands.
Why did you get us involved in this?
I wanted Vialis dead, and I couldn't do it myself. Nothing more.
Why couldn't you tell the authorities?
Tell them what I've done.
It would have saved us a lot of trouble.
It was no trouble. You chopped his head off like it was fucking nothing, and there's not a scratch on you.
It wasn't us we were worried about. It was your wife and your son. You
That's
brought
why
in...
I had in the first place. You think I could have gotten them out of Vialis' arms?
You could have spoken to Kronsgaard. You could have spoken to friends. But you chose us.
The Kronsgaard aren't worth shit.
Oh, you're not wrong there. But now that you and I are complicit in this, all of us complicit in this, you have to tell the truth for us. You have to make this right.
There's nothing to make right anymore. And even if there was, I don't give a shit. I just want my boy and my wife to be okay. That's all I care about.
Good. And Zephyr will lean back against the bars and open his book up again.
It was for my boy. He would do the same thing. Do you have a child?
I intend to have one soon. Right now, do not talk to me. Finish it. It's actually disgusting. I go to a point where I just got sulk for that.
He shakes his head and just puts his chin in his hand and looks off into the distance.
Zephyr, like, she's just like, how are we gonna get out of this?
Well, we can either spend time attempting to wait for the trial, or I may be able to get his but that would make the situation worse.
I agree.
Despair just trails off and she just looks down. She has a lot on her mind.
Zephyr will pipe in. It's alright. Be patient. This will all come to a trial, and there the truth will be revealed. If something after that causes us to be incarcerated longer, maybe, and I point to Arshad, maybe he can help us out.
I may know something.
What? I just replied. Oh, okay. Okay.
At which point Zephyr will sit down and try to get a long rest if there's that much time between now and the trial.
Short rest.
Short rest will do. Although he didn't get hurt, so I guess it's just he's going to spend the time reading.
I'm so pissed that I didn't.
Hey, it's okay, man! You were underestimating us. We just got really lucky rolls.
Next time.
Next time! I'll get you next time!
Meddling kids.
Turtles!
As you guys are sitting there, dozing off, relaxing, reading books, etc., you just kind of hear a door open and then a march of multiple feet come down as the cell door opens to 5 Kronsgaard, the same ones that had apprehended you before. Alright, it's time.
Hello again, gentlemen, and I reach my arms out for shackles.
They nod at you and then go ahead and shackle you up and do the same to the rest.
At this point, by the way, my penknife is in my glove next to my thumb.
Okay.
Cool. It's just a small, dinky little one.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I have my thieves' tools in a separate part of my body that I will reveal at some point.
Nice! Gross, but nice.
Despair just has herself cuffed, but her, like, owlbear would climb up onto her head.
Okay. As you guys kind of get ready, and everyone gets shackled up, they lead you out the short hallway and open up the first door. And as you kind of emerge from that room, beside the walkway, you see a bunch of chairs set up, and tons of people sitting in them. Looks to be about 20 people. And you look up at the throne, and the queen and king are both there, with the princess sitting on the floor next to them. And in front is a desk with a bench behind it. Desk and sitting there. As you guys kind of face the jury. All right, speaks the king in a loud, booming voice. I think you all know this, but you've got a lot of explaining to do. We've gotten witnesses, allies, and other people from the town to bear witness. I hope you don't mind, and I hope that you've had an alright stay in a cell. I'm sorry we don't have many other places to keep people.
The accommodations were perfectly fine.
Excellent. Sorry, I'm doing my notes.
That's okay. Zephyr will wait his turn to speak and let everyone go ahead of him.
You kind of hear the murmur of the crowd, but they all go silent as you enter, and you all sit down. And King Evangel kind of adjusts in his seat. All right, as many of you know from before, these adventurers were under request from the guard to investigate the Farallon and Delic incident that happened outside of the Fall Cotillion. Despair, Aragria, is that how you say it, Aragria?
Aragria, yeah.
Despair, Aragria, Zephyr, Martorin, and Arshad last name.
Nice.
We're all employed under order of the king and the queen to investigate the crime that happened outside of the Fall Cotillion. Dorin was a well-respected member of the Alchemist Guild until he mysteriously went missing and returned only today. Many people saw the display that happened between the docks and the entrance to the slums of the city. He wouldn't say slums, he wouldn't call it that. The entrance to the city. Many people saw the battle go down as these four took to attacking a member of our community, Vialis Demore, who works down at the fishing docks. And to open this up, I would just like to ask you you three, excuse me, what your business was with Vialis.
Would anyone like to speak first?
I kind of look at Zephyr. Sure.
I look at Despair. Do you want to speak?
First.
Yes, my name is Zephyr Martorin. We stand accused of murder, but what we did was no more than defense. As we stood in the street with Vialis in front of us and floating off the ground, as hard as that may be to believe, given that he was not an accomplished mage, he held two captives in his clutches. I point to Dorin, who I assume is in the courtroom.
He is.
This man's wife and son, bound, gagged, and having the life drained from them. Now I believe anyone that knows Vialis knows that he was different in the last 2 weeks. That he was spending more time in the library, not associating with others, locking himself off from the rest of the community.
May you pause for just a moment, please? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Certainly.
Is there anybody in the jury who can attest to Vialis' changed moods and behavior in the past 2 weeks? As you see, sort of in the back, standing, not in chairs, Morin and Ferris, kind of the old fisherman and the Goliath man, kind of raise their hand. Right here. Oh, fuck, I didn't change voices.
It's okay.
Right here. he says, and kind of raises an old hand shakily in the back. Please, step to the front. And he steps to the front, and kind of, people move aside in their seats, and they kind of sit in the front two seat. What he says is correct. Vialis had changed very much in the past 2 weeks. His behavior had gone from erratic and, well, agitative to just violent and downright rude. Downright, fucking
Vicious?
Yeah.
Fucking agitated, man.
And Morin is just kind of sitting next to him, nodding the whole time, not really speaking up. Well, alright then. Please stay close, just in case we have any other questions for you. And he just kind of nods. Aye. And sits back down. Sorry about that. Please continue.
We are at your leisure, Your Majesty. Vialis was working on necromantic magic in his search for fame and fortune, which I believe anyone that knows him knows that he craved. His spells were all inadequate until necrotic nature took hold. He found himself efficient with spells involving death. Now, as we stand here today on trial, I can guarantee you, with all of my heart and all of my soul, that the answers you're looking for lie within our cellmate, Dorin, who can help you understand the concoction that has caused the very blood of the people infected with what Vialis contained to go violent and vicious.
Who was responsible for creating such a concoction?
I look over.
I will speak Vialis.
Vialis created this city. He wasn't much for alchemy, as far as I recall.
And thus he blackmailed Dorin. I'm saying this not in a deceptive way, but more in a, if I can, a more
Protective
persuasive,
lawyering way.
protective lawyering way, yeah. Wording it carefully. Blackmailed Dorin with the promise of return of a loved one.
Sir Chala, this is true. And you look over at Dorin, and he's kind of slouched down with his shackles, just kind of shaking them, looking like he wasn't even paying attention, looking off in the distance. Yes, it is true. Do you have anything else to say about that, Mr. Chala? That's quite a serious, bold claim. You were blackmailed, you say. And he kind of nods his head. Yes. Vialis told me that he could bring my boy back. And so, I helped him. I created a potion that, with the aid of his magic, could bring my boy back. And it didn't. Alright. It brought my boy back, and he tried to kill me and my whole family. So I killed my child. And I buried him. I told nobody. Only me and my family and Vialis knew. And I continued to test and work on the potion as Vialis infected other people of the city. Your Honor. You continued to test it, you say. Knowing the ill effects that it had, you continued to pass that on and allow Vialis to continue without reporting this.
I give Dorin a sort of knowing look, like, try not to say too much, that sort of leave it to us.
He kind of looks at you with just a deadpan expression. That is correct, Your Honor. And I continued to work, and the effects didn't change. That led to the death of Verilyn and Delic Tukin. Me and Vialis killed them. And the audience, including the king, just goes completely silent at this self-admission. You were responsible for what happened to Verilyn and Delic. Yes. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Yora, the innkeeper, was also a victim of me and Vialis, but I don't really remember, Your Honor.
That's where she went.
The king kind of scratches at his short beard for a minute and just looks. And all of them were innocent in the matter, and were just helping to stop Vialis, you say. That is correct. Where are your living son and your wife now? I won't tell you that, he says. And the king kind of looks at him puzzled. You must. Please tell me where your child and wife are, Dorin Shala. He just kind of doesn't say anything, just looks off in the distance. Do any of you know where they are?
I do not know. I understand.
He kind of leans over in his throne as his wife speaks to him. Well, all right. It seems to me that you three were quite innocent in the matter, and were just doing your jobs of investigating. And when it came down to it, Vialis was a problem that you had to deal with. You, however, Dorin Shala, are not absolved of any sort of crime, and seem to have been taken a front seat in the matter. Is that correct? Yes, sir, he says, his expression staying the exact same.
If I may, Your Grace,
He nods at you.
Dorin did what he felt could bring back his most beloved son. And as Vialis saw this weakness in him, he abused it, and brought to him both a riddle and a requirement. Vialis was a vicious man, that is without doubt. He would do whatever he needed to get the concoction again, from him or from others. If Dorin had denied him, Vialis may very well have killed him. So beyond blackmail, you can consider Dorin's plight as a struggle for the soul of his family. I asked the court and the jury to ask themselves what they would do to bring back a loved one, if they could turn back the clocks, and then see that he has already suffered in returning his son to the grave. And I stand down.
The king kind of looks at you in awe almost, and he puts his chin in his hand, kind of thinking about it. And he looks moved by your statement, and so does the rest of the audience. They kind of ponder it as Dorin speaks up. I wasn't manipulated. I knew what I was doing. I wanted my boy back, and if that meant others dying, then I would let it happen. I would kill again if it would bring my boy back. He kind of says, and the king's expression changes right back to how it was before.
Zephyr does not defend him at this point.
And Arshad
Very well.
is going to actually step up in return.
Okay, wait.
I must point out, there's very few rules in the Alchemist Guild when it comes to the creation of projects. I feel it that's with the nature of experimentation and with creativity. One of the most striking and most important is the banning of conquering life. He's broken one of the most sacred laws of our guild by doing this. Even if he has left the guild, I must point out the guild should also have a say in how he is to be punished. That's all I have to say.
The king kind of nods at you politely. Dorin, what do you think about that? I see no fault with it. And this entire time, he's just looking off in one direction and hasn't met eye contact with the king or any of you. Very well then. As I see, the next course of action is to remove Arshad, Despair, and Zephyr from their chains, return Dorin to the cell for now, and keep the jury right here as we get things formulated and kind of, well, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for, goddammit? Change this, what the fuck you call it when you're fucking, change this trial to be against Dorin Shala, as we cannot bring Vialis to justice, as he has already met his fate. Dorin Shala seems to be the other guilty party here. So, a break of about 10 minutes, and everybody please return to your seats, and we will continue. The guards kind of come up to Dorin as they come up to you as well and remove your shackles as they kind of take him off.
Is this guard the same one that was talking to us at the
Yeah.
at the street? I would like to reach out and as if waiting for the key and say, "I told you it'd be fine."
He kind of shakes his head and dismisses it as he goes, "Come on," and lifts Dorin by the shackles and brings him to the room.
Mild
And you hear both
eyebrow
doors
raise.
open and close, and then what'd you say?
Mild eyebrow raise.
Yeah. You hear both doors open and close as the guards go in and then come back out of the hallway. And everyone's kind of standing up and shifting and just kind of chatting about. And you see the king lean over to the queen and they're kind of discussing as the princess walks down the stairs to you guys.
Did we get our belongings back?
That would probably be after, yeah.
Yeah, no, not yet. They're not going to go ahead and give you your weapons in the middle of the...
Not right after a murder trial.
Yeah.
No, that would be a bad.
That's not what the king is nearby.
Yeah. As Princess...
Back. You guys are no longer under any suspicion, though. I think everybody can kind of tell what's going on.
As Princess Kisana comes towards us, Zephyr will give a polite bow. Like, at the waist.
She looks sort of relieved that you guys are no longer guilty, but also just worried about Dorin's testimony, if you could even call it. Was he like that before?
I imagine it weighs on him heavily, and his lack of defense is only in earnest in the hope that justice is served, but I do fear that he is bringing himself unwanted attention while his wife and child still require his help to live.
Yeah, I kept asking around, and the guards went and searched the entire town while this is going on. They can't find him anywhere. They're not really sure, and he's not going to tell anything. Do you guys really not know?
I can't say that I do.
We left them back, and when we were apprehended.
Huh.
I am starting to question whether the mayor has been alive in the first place. Once someone begins to dabble in necromantic alchemy and raising people from the dead, they rarely stop. For all we know, this could all be a very well-concealed lie.
Zephyr raises his hand toward Arshad and says, "However, you must consider, when he removed the life from the wife, it was pure life. There's no way he could do that with a thrall. If it was a zombie, or some sort of undead thrall, it would not be life he would be removing from them. It would simply be essence."
We'll have to find out how it happens, but my opinion of the man is dropping.
If he decides not to defend himself, then I will not push my services, but if he requests one, then I will do what I can.
Wow. Well, and as the princess is kind of speaking up, you just hear, "By the gods!" from the other room, kind of by the hallway, as the guard comes running out. "Come in here!" And Princess Kisana and like the 3 other guards come walking in, and you hear a couple other surprise screams coming out of the hallway.
What's going on?
Princess Kisana runs out of the room just in tears as the other guards kind of enter.
Hey, what's going on?
Zephyr rushes over behind her.
She just kind of runs back up to up the stairs by the thrones and walks behind them.
Despair would also follow.
I'd run to that room to see what the hell is going on.
As you can see, it's just an entire hallway full of the crown guard kind of shuffling in and reacting. And as you kind of approach this, you guys want to go up on like the stairs where the king and queen are. And
yeah, bro. Hold on. That toy. It's getting loud, man. It's getting loud. So just until the end of the stream, man. That's all. Just until the end of the stream. After that, you can do what you want. All right, back in.
Just twiddle your thumbs.
It's not the same. Anyway, you kind of run up the stairs, and as you're going there, the king kind of stands up. "May I help you?"
I'm about to see something wrong. The gods are being called out. What's going on?
"I'm aware. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm going to let them do their job, and they can bring the info to me, and I'll do mine."
Very well, but they may wish to do something is up.
The guards.
From where I am up here, can I see anything?
Wait, where are you? Are you by the hallway? So the noise happened in the hallway.
I have no idea what the geography of this place is, so I don't know.
Sorry. The cell is a hallway kind of off to the side. Like you open this door and you go down like a dark hallway to another door that is just a big cell. You guys, the thrones are in the center of this room. So the guards are in that hallway, kind of stacked up and blocking your way in there. You wouldn't be able to talk to the king and queen from being near that hallway.
Zephyr.
I don't say that to the king. I'm still trying to see what the fuck is going on.
Zephyr, looking through the doorway, seeing all the Crown's Guard crowding the place, decides to go back to the room and await for any sort of reaction from the king and queen.
They're kind of sitting there. They look very worried. The queen, especially, as the king kind of holds her hand, and they just kind of wait as a Crown's Guard comes up and whispers into their ear, as they have like a shocked expression on their face.
Could I make a perception check in order to like discern what they're saying?
They're gonna tell you in a second here, so it's not even.
One step ahead.
Yeah. Everybody, please take your seats. And the panic kind of calms down as everyone sits, and the guards kind of go back to their positions, looking worried but still standing there with their pikes up. Dorin Shala has hung himself in the cell room, so the trial will no longer continue. That is all. We're all dismissed. And he immediately stands up and just goes behind the thrones and back to the room back there, and the queen follows, as everyone kind of is chattering very loudly as they exit the building. And as you kind of wait around a moment, as everyone starts to clear out, you see the guards bring out Dorin Shala with he's just got a dead, pale face and slightly purple almost, and you can see his belt is around his neck that asphyxiated him.
Could I go over to the body and ask the guards something really quick?
Back off. What are you doing?
I merely want to inquire. I know that it may seem like suicide, but I would like to make sure, as a... call it a propensity for medicine.
Tell you what, I just saw him hanging from his belt from the ceiling.
Ignoring the guard, I'm looking at the body, and I want to make sure that there's no, I don't know, presence of otherworldly control or something like that.
Okay. Detect.
I don't know if that'd be identifier. I don't know.
I should probably be the one to check that, but yeah.
I mean, you're welcome to. Like, I'm not stopping you. I'm just stopping the guards.
Detect magic, or I don't know what spell you online.
I got nothing there.
Magic. I can cast them all as rituals without a single spell, but I can also put a spell to do it.
It would take 10 minutes to do so, and I don't think they're gonna stick around that long.
No, but I can just burn spell slots to do so.
You can do it if you want to. I'm just holding them off until somebody gets a look at them.
Alright, as I kind of make my way over, I'm just going to kind of like take a look and then, burn a detect magic, so any magic within 30 feet of me just, looks up basically like a glow, and I know instinctively what kind of magic it is. So I'm just looking at his body specifically.
Only to you, though. We don't see it.
Yeah, I know. That's really
Okay, and that just happens. There's no roll for intensity or whatever. It's just, it'd be like that. Yeah. Yeah, you look at it and there is no magical aura, and it seems clear to you that this man just hung himself.
Yeah, right. At that point.
dead?
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, he hanged himself, and yes, he is dead.
Good that it is going the same thing back away.
Yeah, Zephyr backs up as Arshad's taking a look, and you probably hear Zephyr whisper, "Fool."
Whew. Well then, the guards kind of exit fuck it. Yeah, they don't exit the building, they kind of bring him to the back. They enter behind the thrones and kind of follow in one by one and bring the body back there. Some of them go back to the post, and the other ones just kind of disappear. You guys are the last ones left in the room now.
What's Kisana doing in this scenario?
She ran away as soon as she saw what happened.
Oh, okay.
Gone.
Let's leave. Despair will turn and walk out of the building, or start walking out of the...
Okay, do you guys want to end here?
No.
For the night. If I'm leaving that up.
Unfortunately, I don't know if I can keep going. I'm sorry, guys.
That's fine.
that's
No
fine.
problem.
I think the people can handle a 1.5-hour session if it's that intense at the end.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I don't know of any other stopping point coming up other than Dorin Shala killing himself.
I mean, I don't think you expected us to take out Vialis quite that quickly.
I didn't. But
Yeah, but
it
hey,
worked out.
future reference.
Yeah.
We should probably say our ending thing on this thing.
Yeah,
We
so,
can.
Want to do it
hello
real
guys,
quick
we're
so we
back.
can.
We're just we talk consistently and we forgot all about you guys. So here we go. Here's our outro stuff that
Well,
we're doing now.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much for watching.
Please keep
See you
watching.
guys
subscribers
next
and views.
day
Please do.
that we drop an episode.
Alright, see you guys next time on Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, the drama. Bye,
Alright,
everybody.
talk to you later, guys.
Bye.
Thank you to CosmicX for giving us all wonderful portraits of our characters. We all love them, and seeing our characters drawn out better than our chicken scratch is very much appreciated. So, thank you, Cosmic.